Today we're doing an Aqua Force deck profile. Alright, so I figured, considering I have this beautiful playmat, I'd start off with my Aqua Force deck for this channel. I made this one myself, so if you're interested in that, just contact my page, Royalty Playmat Designs. I always make custom commissions. Anyway, we'll start with the G-Zone. We got 4 Lambros, 2 Wailing, 4 Commander, a Tidal Bore, Seabreeze, Dismal, and these guys. Lambros, obviously, he's the game changer. He's the only reason Aqua Force is great right now, so we play him at 4. 2 Wailing, I've considered going to 3, but usually he ends the game, so I usually don't even go into the second one. Then Commander Thavas, usually first try to set up for Wailing. You could pretty much run anything else, but I prefer this guy for pressure. I almost never go into him. Then we have Seabreeze, obviously. This is a stride deck, GB based, so if someone is gonna play the grade 2 game, you can ruin them. Then Dismal, protecting Tidal primarily. And then these guys, overall, Aqua Force has terrible G-guards, but we got what we got. Hopefully the Fighters Collection one will work out decently, I'm not sure yet. So that's the Stride Zone, it's pretty much the same thing in almost every single deck, so not a lot of explanation needed there. So for the starter, I run Bubble Edge Draco Kit. The reason is this guy makes you plus a lot. Usually on first stride turn, I'll have a Tidal Assault, Commander Thavas, and then something else, whatever. I'll make sure that the Tidal gets the 4th attack to get the draw, but also the 5th attack to get another draw. So that's a pretty neat trick. It gives you 2 draws for 1 card. It's nice. The other options are Mitros and Andre. The thing is, Andre, I usually don't even get to using him. And Mitros, well, he's sometimes clunky and gets in the way. Overall, I think this is the best card, but Mitros is definitely an option because it gives you stride fodder. 4 grade 3s, obviously 4 Thavas because he's the ace of the deck. And then I run 4 Skyros. This kind of depends on the meta. If you're going up against Messiah, this guy will just straight up kill the deck. If your meta is not full of control, you might maybe switch 1 or 2 for a new wave guy who gets to switch and whatever. He's pretty cool, but I prefer my Skyros. Another cool trick is, since we're running Bubble Edge, we're trying to force Tidal to get the 4th and the 5th attack. You can also, when you misride into him and you give Tidal the grade 3 search ability, then your Tidal will be able to search for 2 grade 3s, and that's really handy. So on that first stride turn, I often get a +4 just from these 2 guys. For grade 2s, Tidal Assault, obviously. If he wasn't so great, I wouldn't be running Aqua Force. On the Lambros turn, he's very deadly, because let's say you have a Lambros, you have a Stacia here and something else. You attack on a rear guard, so he's rested. You then attack with Stacia on a rear guard, you then attack with this guy, whatever. Then Lambros attacks, it's the 4th swing, you restand, and Tidal can still restand on itself. So if you then put your triggers, like your critical triggers on here, he will swing twice with critical. That's very insane. Next up, Battle Siren Adelaide. She's basically another ace. It's kind of like a Tidal Assault, but better, but GB based. And then Aqua Force usually has the tech 3 options. These guys are so amazing, but we don't really have a winner as far as the 3rd spot goes. I choose High Tide and 1 Saber Flow. Reason being, no one expects High Tide anymore because everyone is using Magnum or Saber Flow. I really like High Tide. He makes the Lambros turns very deadly. He's also a great target for when you attack with Wailing, but you keep him standing. And then you give all the triggers here, so even though they could guard the Wailing, they can't guard this guy. 1 Saber Flow, because the draws are very handy. It's also easy for control to kind of wipe your own field. But like I said, in this 3rd spot you could pretty much run anything. Magnum, High Tide, Saber Flow, Couple Dagger, maybe 10Ks in your meta, it all depends. For Unflip PG, this deck barely needs unflipping, but still, it's handy. I don't see why you'd run anything else. For stride fodder, I'm running 8 grade 3s, so this isn't very necessary. I could potentially cut 2 grade 3s since I'm running 4 of these. Kinda depends. Then for Stacia, most people run 2 to 3. I don't. This girl is the playmaker of the deck. She makes sure I always hit 4 attacks, usually 5. I really want to hit her at all times. Then 2, Trump's wife. She's amazing, but I still prefer hitting those Stasias. Because like I said, on the Lambros turn, you really want this, a tidal, and something else, so you can get to your 4th attack and still do the restand shenanigans. For triggers, I've got these crits, because obviously they're the Thavas crits. These crits, they unflip, but I barely need it. I have 1 Gororo, I'd like to have 2, but those are in my big belly deck right now. So this would be an extra Gororo. I'm hoping to make these the foil crits from the new crit trigger pack, and then 4 heals. The reason I'm not running draws is because draws are objectively an inferior trigger. I'd like to make a video specifically on this topic to explain it all. Also, people often say I use draws because I want my pieces early, but you don't get them early because you usually only hit 1 or 0 draws in the early game. Apart from that, 12 crits makes your Wailing Thavas turn insanely deadly, because they know you're gonna hit 1 or 2 of them. And apart from that, your Lambros turns become more deadly with the tidal plays, and so on. Also, Bubble Itch Draco Kit draws a lot, Saberflow draws, Melania draws. Overall, you have enough draw, and running 4 draws won't really change that at all. So that's the deck profile for my Aqua Force deck. If you have any ideas of what could improve this, just let me know. I'd love to have an argument about it. Not that I'm saying I have the very best Aqua Force deck or anything like that, not at all, but if you're gonna say, oh, this card sucks, you better back it up with some real arguments. So I hope that was helpful. I really like this deck. I think it's really good in the current meta. It's not that great against Nitros because you don't have anything to retire. But the fact that you're immune to Freeze Ray Messiah is pretty nice. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. If you want a playmat, just contact me. I design these pretty guys. And yeah, see you soon.